Welcome to our student panel for our virtual freshman orientation. We are joined by 4 Skyline students today who have taken time out of their summer to talk a little bit about some of the things that you can expect as a freshman coming to Skyline High School. So I'm going to start off by asking everybody to introduce themselves, say what grade they're going to be in next year, and the different extracurricular activities that they are involved in. And Mirella, I'm going to start with you.
Okay, so hi, my name's Mirella. I'm going to be a junior next year, and I am in Coyote Strong and CCL, Avid, and Bring Change to Mind. And I also do soccer.
Laura?
Hi, my name is Laura. I'm going to be a senior. I am in orchestra, CCL, stage crew, and paint pack.
And Emily?
Hi, I'm Emily. I am going to be a junior next year, and I'm in pack.
And Savannah?
I'm Savannah. I'm a sophomore. I'm not in any clubs, but I do play volleyball.
All right. Thanks all you guys for joining us today. Our first question that I'd like you to answer is if you could just talk about what is the best thing about being a student at Skyline. And Laura, this time I'm going to start with you.
I think the amazing performing arts programs we have, because we have some really amazing groups. Like our band, it just won state last year, first place. I think it was second place or first place, I don't remember. And the orchestra is really great. It's just a great family and community that we have.
All right. Savannah, what is the best thing about being a student at Skyline?
I would have to say it's how the teachers actually interact to help the students with what they need.
All right, great plug for our teachers. Emily, what's the best thing about being a student at Skyline?
The greatest thing about being a student at Skyline is having all the different activities that you can do with other kids, and you can create new friends while being there.
Absolutely. Mirella, what is the best thing about being a student at Skyline?
I'm gonna have to agree with Savannah. I think definitely the teachers. I mean, I don't really think we have very many same teachers that other schools have. Our teachers are really there to help you. They're not to be mean. They're there to actually help you, and I think they can communicate that very well. And our clubs and our sports, I think they do create a really good family. And yeah, it's just kind of overall a really good school to be in. I think the teachers are awesome. Some students are really awesome too. And just the clubs are pretty cool.
Awesome, thank you. So you guys now are a year or 2 or 3 into your high school career, and I'm sure along the way there's been you've come across something and you're like, man, I wish I would have known this when I started or when I was a freshman. So now's your opportunity to pass that wisdom on to our new students. So what is something that you wish that you would have known or would have realized when you came in as a freshman? Emily, start us off with that one.
What I wish I knew when I was coming in as a freshman was to not be to just learn how to cope with all the new students that you're going to be meeting, and then knowing all the new activities and new classes that you will have to go, including having to get to classes on time.
So it sounds like you wish you would have kind of done a little bit more research on what was going on before you came to high school. All right. Savannah, what about you? What is something you wish you would have known as a freshman?
You're going to lose friends, but then you'll gain so many new ones, and that grades do matter.
Yeah, 2 pretty important things, grades and friends. Mirella, what about you?
I would have to say, I guess basically trying to find a really good schedule that I can stick to that would help me and would work out for me without having to actually do so many things all at once. So yeah, I think scheduling is really helpful and really good.
All right, Laura, what about you?
I have to say is you have to, if you're going to be a college-bound student, you really should look into colleges as soon as you possibly can. Take on clubs and leadership roles when you can, and just look to colleges and what you need to do as soon as you possibly can.
So sounds like having a plan and kind of having an idea of what's going on. Laura, just kind of to piggyback on that, what happens if plans change?
Plans can easily change as it's just, if you can't really predict the future, you can change your mind. I've changed my mind like multiple times this year, but honestly, I think just being able to adapt and have a support system that will help you figure out what you want to do. Like we have some really great college counselors that if you decide to change your mind, you can just talk to them and they can help you the best they can.
All right, thank you for that. I think that when we started, I forgot to introduce myself. And this right now is a good time to do that. So I'm Miss Talia, and I'm the social worker at Skyline. And my job is to help all of our students when something maybe isn't going right. So maybe it's grades, maybe it's friends, maybe it's something at home, maybe it's something more serious than that. Maybe it's sadness or anxiety or something like that. And so I thought I could introduce myself here because our next question kind of speaks to that. Sometimes we don't have the very best of days, especially as a new student in a new school, you know, during some really uncertain times going on. So for you guys, when you've had that kind of stuff happen in your day, where have you found help on campus? Where have you been able to go that's safe to help you through those days that aren't so good? And so then I'm going to start that one for you.
Well, I usually go to my friends and teachers I trust with my problems because I'll know they'll be there for me and support me.
Friends are pretty important. Yeah. Mirella, what about you?
I feel like sometimes I go to my AVID teachers, because if you guys take AVID, you guys will know this. They can become very close to you, and they kind of have a bond with you. So I kind of go to them, but sometimes I go to Talia. She is very trustworthy and she's very open. She listens and she's a great person. So if you have problems, first choice would be Talia. So yeah.
And I did not even pay her to say that. Thanks, Mirella. Laura, what about you? Where do you find your help and support on campus?
I find my help through mostly my friends because I've been fortunate to make some really awesome friends this year. And I typically also go to my teachers who I trust, and not all the teachers are going to be able to help you because that's not what they're for. But Talia is 100% a good person to go talk to.
Well, thank you. Emily, who are the people that you feel like are on your side, or where do you go when you're having a bad day on campus?
I would go to my friends if I'm having a bad day on campus, but whenever it comes to after school, I would go to my teachers who are doing tutoring to just go ahead and talk to them and cope.
Yeah, I've heard that sometimes, I'm glad you brought that up, Emily. Sometimes kids feel afraid to go to tutoring or afraid to ask for help. You know, what would you guys say to that? Laura.
I have gone through that too. I've gone through most of my high school years without going to tutoring because I'm just too scared to ask for help. But honestly, if the teachers have their student hours, literally just go. It will help you a whole bunch. Don't be afraid. They're there to help and they want to help you.
Thank you for that. So as we kind of wrap up our discussion today, what are kind of your last words of wisdom? What do you feel like is kind of one important thing for students, new freshmen to know starting the new school year? Let's see, Savannah, what's your words of wisdom?
The campus may look scary because it's really big, but it's not that big and it's not that scary once you learn your way around it.
Thanks. Mirella.
You have 4 years, so you don't have to do everything you think you need to do your freshman year. I mean, yes, it is really good to take those experiences and really fun, but if you have a really big assignment and there's a football game, there are many more to come. So take that Friday night, just do your homework, just study for that really big test because you don't have to do everything. And grades matter. Like I think it was Emily said it, or somebody, but grades matter. So take your time.
All right. And Laura, I saw you agreeing with Mirella there. What's your words of wisdom?
Honestly, 100%. We have 4 years. Yes, you can do a lot, but you really should just take your time with it. Time is going to fly by. Grades do matter, but also enjoy as much as you can. Like, yeah, we have 4 years, but you should just enjoy as much as you possibly can because you'll regret not doing some things.
And Emily, you get our last word today. What are your words of wisdom that you'd like to provide to our incoming freshmen?
Not be scared to try new things, but if you are, just try to find someone to try new things with.
That's a good one. It's always easier to try something new when we have a friend. So thank you so much to our panel for being with us today and for sharing such awesome thoughts for our incoming freshmen. We're here for you, even though we're getting a virtual start for the year. If you have questions, if you have thoughts or concerns, or just want to talk to someone, you can always reach out to myself, to your counselor, to your teachers, because we really are all here in the same team. Thank you so much and have a great start to your freshman year.